So the readings and listening material all have different topics. And for my Saturday class, which is a more professional class, I really focus and we deep dive on a particular topic. So currently we're doing the Forbes 50 wealthiest Koreans, and
Right.
Is there 50?
It's just some list of wealthy Koreans and then the companies, and I'm basing the reading material off of the industry and the company. And it's very interesting at the bottom. We all know who's at the top, at the bottom, these smaller companies, and it helps them get a sense of industry and market in Korea. And for the advanced and intermediate speaking classes, oftentimes the world dictates what we need to be talking about that day. So Sully passed away, we're going to talk about that. Or Hong Kong protests, we're going to talk about that. And then I try to keep it. I try to keep it interesting. It's not systematic. I try to keep it relevant and interesting. I'm not going to talk so much about American politics because it's just not relevant to my students' lives. Even though it's something I could teach, I'm not going to do it so much.
Thanks. And maybe we can move on to the memory part, right? And how do you help your students to deal with or memorize lots of new words in the textbook or in the material that you
they're adults, so I'm not going to force them. You have to memorize 10 words a class. That's children. So I would say on average a student walks away 3 or 4 brand new words, maybe some repeated words, but the vocabulary is built primarily in the reading. It's mandatory after we read that the students have to ask a question about the reading, and that is culturally difficult. Some students are uncomfortable. But if they've studied with me for a while, they can expect it, and that's primarily when we get our vocabulary questions. What does this word mean? What does this word mean? Type thing. So I give them an opportunity in class to bring up words they don't know.
That is quite a good way to do that, right?
And it works. The students say, "Oh, we learned that last month." They recognize words, so it works.
That's great. And how do you help students keep the knowledge in long-term memory? So do you review the former lesson most
That's
of
a
the
good
time?
question. So there are parts of the class that are repeated. In terms of memorizing phrases, I've never done it. I don't want to do that. That's looking at it really from a ESL approach, and I've always taught language or helped develop language as a language, not through memorization, but more through communication. So I've never asked.
More like acquisition, right?
I've never asked a student to
not about
memorize
just learning
a phrase.
Why don't you like memorization way teaching memorization or something else to your students?
Stressful. Stressful for them.
So you don't want to have a stressful environment for your students?
I try not to do that. This isn't for a grade. They pay me.
They pay you.
I'm providing a service.
That's interesting, right? Because some of Korean students, you know what? I guess not, they are not your students, but like some of people who want some score, specific score, they want some stress, you know, like, oh, why doesn't the teacher give us a lot of assignments, right?
Oh.
Yeah, they always complain about it, and they're like, wow, do you need assignments? You can just do it. Why do you want it? Like, I need some stress. Some people say that, right? Yeah.